rise in Bangladesh.
This is an ever-growing problem in Bangladesh, with sea levels predicted to rise 60% by 2080.
This will be dramatic for Bangladesh as they heavily rely on agricultural land, and with this rise, most of their precious farmland will be destroyed.
Over to you, weatherman. As you can see, this blue line along the coast is where it will be very, very deeply affected, and this land will be completely gone. This land, the red area, is where it will be very, very severely affected, and as you can see, it goes very far into the mainland here. And the yellow land will be the places where it might be difficult to grow crops because of the salinity in the soil. Back to you in the studio.
We now have a reporter on Asia's largest delta, the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta in Bangladesh, whose population are at risk of suffering from sea level rise. Here in the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta, home to 111 million people, the residents are at risk from accelerated sea level rise due to linked in with climate change. Sea level rise is predicted to increase the salinity of the water and soil of this now fertile region, thus endangering the growth of crops. This economically affects them as they will have no land to grow crops on, which will cost them money, which also leads on to the social factors as people will not have jobs and people will lose their homes due to flooding. Back to you in the studio. Now to our sea expert, Eddie Eggleton, who is going to tell us why the sea level is rising.
Sea level are rising for two reasons. The first one being the glaciers on land melting into the sea and not being able to refreeze back on land, thus making the average sea level higher. The second is thermal expansion, where the particles take up more space because of the rising heat in the earth, thus making the average sea level higher. Back to you in the studio.
The short-term effects of this would be people losing their homes and people losing their jobs. But whereas the long-term effects would be people struggling to rebuild their farmland that has been lost to the growing sea level, and people are struggling to rebuild their houses, and refugee camps will be littered throughout the country as people will not have any homes.
But it's not all bad news. Landlocked countries like Hungary will not be affected in the same way as Bangladesh, as the sea level rising will not affect their land.
In other news, a man has been spotted with his guts literally on fire. Witnesses said they were the size of a tyre, and the man quotes, "His mother was a liar."